Please stand for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning and welcome to RPtv. Today is Tuesday, October 26, 2021. Our top story this morning concerns the current rainstorm and the high potential for flash floods throughout the state. Damien has the details.
Numerous flash flood warnings have been issued overnight in continuation to the storm we had been experiencing yesterday. Powerful nor'easter is continuing to dump heavy rain throughout the day, with storm totals now above 6 inches of rain. Governor Phil Murphy declared a state of emergency in advance of the storm Monday. Towns throughout New Jersey have reported more than 3 inches of rain within the first 12 hours of the storm, with Wayne in Passaic County topping the list at 3.72 inches. This storm has also affected Waldwick in Bergen County, coming in with 3.49 inches of rain, and Kendall Park in Middlesex County with 3.43 inches, according to the unofficial numbers. According to the Weather Service, an additional 1 to 2 inches of rain will hit the state, with up to 3 inches in certain parts of the state.
Now it's time for announcements. Student Council's annual Halloween costume contest will be held Friday, October 29, 2021. Categories include scariest, funniest, most original, and best group or couple. To enter the contest, you must come to room 110 during homeroom to have your picture taken. Seniors can come to room 110 when you arrive during the first period. Prizes will be awarded in each category. Roselle Park High School presents Meet the Author, Allison Kimball, author of Strange Gods. Writing workshop with the author, followed by a Q&A about the publishing process. Friday, October 29th, 12:30 p.m. If you're interested in attending, please fill out the Google form. School picture retakes will take place on Friday, October 29th. Art Club and National Art Honor Society meeting every Friday after school at the public library with permission slips. Questions, ask Ms. Cutro. SAS Club is organizing a pet supply collection. Students interested in helping, come to our next meeting on Tuesday, the 26th, outside the high school cafeteria. For details, email Ms. Almanzar. Chorus Club will hold its next meeting on Thursday, October 28th at 4:45 in the Roselle Park Middle School Band Room. New members are welcome. Spanish and International Club meets every other Wednesday. Meeting date is November 3rd after school outside by the high school cafeteria. For details, email Ms. Almanzar. An Interact meeting will be held on Thursday, October 28th after school behind the cafeteria. Come and learn about what this meeting is about. We will also start planning our first service project and cultural activity. Any questions, see Mr. Fucci in room 1 or James Dolan. The girls volleyball team came home with a big win against Timothy Christian. As they celebrated senior night, Raina Hassenhauer led the team 4 kills and 7 assists. Deasia Gilliard followed with 2 key blocks as the Panthers defeated the Tigers 2-0. Here are some video highlights from the game.
Tell me a little bit about the excitement of senior night and then the oddity of having it at a different gym. So who wants to jump in?
Well, I joined my sophomore year of high school, and it's been an amazing journey. I grew and progressed in many different ways that I didn't even know I could progress in. Coach Degunas helped me find my weaknesses and my strengths, and from there I grew to be the libero of the Panthers. And senior night is exciting but sad, knowing it's my last game and it's my last season with the Panthers, and I'm very sad but very excited to see what the future has.
Brandon, what about you? Senior night?
Right out of my mouth.
Okay.
I never really thought I would be here. Like, I always remember planning senior night for every other group of seniors, but I never thought it would be our turn. And I started out when I was a freshman, and I've been on varsity for 4 years. I made varsity as a freshman, and I have learned so much over the course of those 4 years. Our previous coach, Miss Burry, and our current coach, Mr. Gunas, and our new coach, Mr. C, has helped me. All 3 of them have helped me so much, but in so many different ways. And I'm really proud to be a Panther, and I'm so happy that I tried out for the team when I did.
So good. I think these 2 girls are really reflective of what high school athletics should be all about. And Roselle Park's a great community. They do a great job over there, and their athletes reflect some of the values that they try to teach there in the borough. So congratulations on 4 great years. And these girls can play, by the way. And so the Tigers and Timothy are up against it tonight, no question. But welcome again to Timothy. Enjoy your senior night. And listen, for those of you that might be freshmen or sophomore underclassmen, listen, some sage advice right here. It goes by in a blink of an eye, so enjoy every bus trip, enjoy every practice, enjoy every moment that you can, because before long, you're going to be walking out there with your parents, senior night, and it's going to be over before you know. So enjoy tonight. Thanks for joining, and
you.
God bless everybody. And let's hear it one more time for the Panthers at Roselle Park. 25-24. Panthers trying to put it away in 3. Tigers trying to fight for their third set life. Ball is up. Medina not gonna get there. That's a victory for the Roselle Park Panthers on their senior night. Let's give credit where credit is due. These young ladies came in, fought a great match, played a great match, fought through the adversity of their gym being destroyed by the flood, and they're victorious on senior night. Congratulations to the Panthers and their coaching staff.
Over the course of the last few days, New Jersey has been a political center for the Democratic Party, as former President Barack Obama and current President Biden have both visited the state. Cooper has that report.
Former President Barack Obama came to Newark Saturday to boost Democratic incumbent Governor Phil Murphy's re-election bid, bringing his unique brand of political charisma to Welchuk Park on the first day of early voting in New Jersey. Obama's stop in the South Ward echoed his visit to the state's largest city 4 years ago to back Murphy's successful 2017 gubernatorial bid. The 44th president embraced the state's 56th governor as a crowd of approximately 800 people roared ecstatically when he took the stage. Murphy is trying to become the first incumbent Democratic governor to win re-election since Essex County's native Brendan Reynor in 1977. As the political heart of Essex County, Newark is often the source of most Democratic votes in statewide elections. Murphy's campaign is hoping that Obama's appearance will jack up traditionally heavy Democratic voter turnout in major New Jersey states, especially in Newark, to help get the government over the top against his Republican challenger, Jack Ciattarelli. In other news, President Joe Biden landed in Plainfield Cedar Brook Park on Monday and headed to the East End Elementary School in North Plainfield to highlight his Build Back Better plan. In advance of President Biden's visit, members of the Plainfield Police Department were among those who participated in Sunday in a helicopter training event at the park, which was closed to the public. Residents were also notified of road closures in the effect of Monday.
Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Respect means that you accept somebody for who they are, even when they're different from you and when you don't agree with them.
Respect builds feelings of trust, safety, and well-being.
Respect is to listen and be present, acknowledge others and say thank you, address mistakes with kindness, make decisions based on what's right and not who you like, and respect physical boundaries.
Respect other people's feelings, open your mind before you open your mouth, put yourself in their shoes for a few minutes before saying anything.
Thanks for watching, have a great day, and stay tuned for CNN 10.
instability in the African nation of Sudan. That's where we're starting today's show. I'm Carl Azus for CNN 10. Worry in our hearts is how some demonstrators are describing the situation in Sudan's capital. Their country's military appears to have taken over in another coup. Sudan has seen several of those since the late 20th century. Its former president, Omar al-Bashir, was a military leader when he seized power in 1989. He was known for his harsh rule over the Sudanese people, and he's been accused of crimes against humanity and genocide in Sudan's western Darfur region. During massive civilian protests in 2019, the military took over once again, forcing President al-Bashir out of office. A transitional government was set up. Power was shared between military and civilian groups, but tensions stayed high in the African nation. In September, forces that were loyal to the country's former president tried and failed to take power back, and in October, thousands of demonstrators gathered in front of the presidential palace to demand the military take control again, while thousands of others amassed in the streets to support the nation's civilian leaders. So instability in Sudan is ongoing. What's happening right now? Sudan's military has broken up its power-sharing government with civilian leaders. It's declared a state of emergency. It's reportedly arrested government officials, according to witnesses, and the head of Sudan's armed forces says a, quote, independent and fair representative government would take control until a new one is elected in 2023. Flights have been suspended from the capital's international airport. Internet connections have been severely disrupted. Sudan's civilian prime minister, who was arrested, has called for the Sudanese to peacefully protest the takeover. Many people have taken to the streets, and there have been some reports of violence against the demonstrators. Several other countries, including the United States, are speaking out against the apparent military coup and calling for stability in Sudan. A cold front that plowed across the United States has made its mark. The National Weather Service says several reports of tornadoes came in as the system moved across Illinois, Kansas, and Missouri, and it was pushing heavy rains and winds over the Appalachian Mountains as it moved toward the U.S. East Coast. From New Jersey to Massachusetts, flood watches are in effect through Tuesday afternoon, and authorities said hail and tornadoes were possible in some isolated places. Meantime, an atmospheric river, a band of exceptionally moist air, has flowed over Northern California and brought heavy rain to the drought-stricken state. The good news is that this helped firefighters get complete control over the Dixie Fire, the second largest one in state history. The bad news?
This atmospheric river is dumping rain and bringing wind to hundreds of square miles of Northern California, and the big fear, mudslides. Let's look at what happened on State Route 70. This is in the Tobin area. The hillside came crashing down, the debris so large that the Caltrans truck and heavy equipment can't clear it right now. This could be days that this lasts here. And then as we look over here, I'm on U.S. Route 50. You can see behind me the South Fork of the American River starting to fill up. Here in one shot you can see they have to be careful with flooding in rivers, but above, the so-called burn scar, completely stripped of vegetation in some places. And when the rain comes down, and it comes down and is strong for a sustained amount, that's when you can get the slides. It becomes an ashy, slurry mess. That's what they're worried about. So you will hear about power outages and flash flood warnings with these circumstances. And they're telling drivers, unless it's absolutely necessary, you shouldn't be driving. These are potentially lethal conditions as this atmospheric river comes through Northern California. Reporting from El Dorado County, I'm Paul Verkaman. Now back to you.
10-second trivia. In what mountain range would you find the world's largest salt flat? Andes, Caucasus, Himalayas, or Rockies? Salar de Uyuni can be found in the Andes Mountains. Before I wrote this show, if you'd asked me how many varieties of potatoes there are in this world, I might have said baked, russet, sweet, chips, like 4. I would have been wrong by about 4,000. And if you'd asked where most of them are grown, I might have said France, 'cause fries. But the truth is in the Andes Mountains, and the nation of Peru is our next stop.
No. I can't let them be forgotten, because all the flavors, I know now how to grow them, and in that way I can keep the varieties alive.
At the foothills of the central Peruvian Andes lives Esperanza Gabriel. She's a potato custodian, helping to conserve a personal collection of over 300 ancestral potato varieties.
This one is Sumasuku. Inside it has pink pulp.
Steph Dehan from the International Potato Center in Lima works with hundreds of custodians like Esperanza.
So you can almost compare them like to coin collectors or to stamp collectors. They are really important because potato custodians are basically the guardians of the traditional knowledge, and they're also the guardians of the diversity itself.
Between the two of us, we have been growing these seeds for 20 years, preserving them since the day of our wedding. Those from my husband's side and those I inherited.
There are about 4,000 varieties of native potato in the world, and most of them are grown in the Andes, while only a handful are available in supermarkets around the world.
If we don't preserve the whole genetic base of these potatoes, it would basically mean that we have no options in the future to diversify our food system. So we would be highly dependent on very few varieties, and it would make us extremely vulnerable. The Andean farmers where they grow potatoes is very risky. So there's a lot of disease pressure, there's a lot of hail, there's a lot of frost. And basically growing these potatoes together in mixtures is a risk avoidance strategy.
For Esperanza, the motivation is not only protecting diversity, but the simple desire to feed her family.
We grow potatoes to eat, and also for selling as well, and we keep them in storage for us to use throughout the year.
A traditional local dish is pachamanca. The potatoes are steamed underground with hot stones.
You could say that the Andean farmers are really the connoisseurs or the sommeliers of the potatoes.
My mother taught me. Now I want to teach my daughters so that they can continue cultivating the varieties.
Potato custodians have been protecting seeds for centuries. For Steph Dehan, valuing traditional agriculture is the only way to ensure biodiversity will evolve and remain available to future generations.
As soon as you put a potato in a gene bank, it becomes something static. But the farmers, it's really something that is continuously adapting. So some things are getting lost, some things are getting added. It's a laboratory that's not managed by scientists, but it's a laboratory that is basically more than 10,000 years of evolution in the hands of farmers.
Big John is on the move. That's the name of the largest known Triceratops skeleton. It was discovered in South Dakota in 2014. It was recently sold at an auction in France for $7.7 million, and the buyer was American, so Big John will cross the Atlantic once again. Paleontologists say the skeleton is about 60% complete. The rest of the bones usually have to be remade, and some scientists don't like private sales of fossils. But if you collect old artifacts, it's Triceratops. Cost a skeleton of money, but it's guaranteed to stop your family in their tracks when they see that thing in your home. Don't doubt it. If a dinosaur scores up your floor, you make no bones about it. No one has a pet Triceratops and leave your guests all glossy-eyed. A bona fide sight with all its might for their sore fossil eyes. Maybe not my best rap, but I'm spitting artifacts. Want to give a shout out to Natchitoches Central High School today. It is located in Natchitoches, Louisiana. I'm Carl Azus for CNN.